Anya makes no effort to hide her cold attitude, treating Ilanka with a bluntness that borders on cruelty. She seems to enjoy unsettling the people around her. Quietly, she begins telling Ilanka about her previous roommate, a girl named Rachel, who used to see visions of dead spirits walking the halls. According to Anya, Rachel could never make peace with what she saw, and Anya is convinced that fear is what truly killed her, not the illness eating away at her body. When bedtime finally arrives, Ilanka pretends to be fast asleep. Then, she senses Anya quietly settling into her wheelchair and rolling toward the elevator. Curious, Ilanka slips out of bed and follows her, only to discover that Anya has descended into the basement where the morgue is hidden. Step by step, she creeps down the staircase and watches as Anya knocks on a door, which is opened by one of the other residents. One by one, more teenagers begin arriving until everyone in the house has gathered together. Everyone except Ilanka. Hoping to figure out what is going on, she presses herself against the wall to eavesdrop on their secret meeting. Inside, the group is sitting together, taking turns telling each other terrifying stories. Then, in the middle of one particularly chilling tale, Ilanka jumps in fright, and her hiding spot is blown wide open. Rather than turning her away, the group invites her in. Calmly, they explain that they belong to a secret society known as the Midnight Club. Before she can become one of them, however, she must first complete a small initiation ritual. She has to take a sip of alcohol and tell a frightening story of her own. Ilanka isn't keen on drinking, especially with the medication coursing through her veins. Yet, left with little choice, she takes a small sip and begins her tale. She tells them the story of Julia, a former resident who had been told she had less than a year to live. Haunted by that grim prophecy, Julia would whisper the date of her predicted death over and over, like a chant she could not escape. Then, one morning, she vanished without a trace. Everyone assumed she had wandered off in her sleep and stumbled out of the house, only to fall from the edge of a nearby cliff and meet a tragic end. Weeks of searching followed, and slowly, hope began to fade away. Yet, just when everyone had given up, Julia returned to the hospice, alive and seemingly untouched by death. Stunned, the doctors examined her and discovered something even stranger. Not only had she been completely cured of her illness, but she had come back with an unsettling new ability. From that point on, Julia could see the exact date of death hovering above every person she encountered. Quietly, Ilanka adds that every single date Julia ever predicted came true, leaving her cursed with the unbearable knowledge of when everyone she loved would die. Once the story ends, Ilanka officially earns her place in the club. Yet one final condition still hangs in the air. The members have a sacred pact among them, a chilling agreement that whoever dies first must try, by any means possible, to reach back across the veil and contact the rest to whisper to them what waits on the other side. Ilanka agrees without hesitation. Soon after, bedtime arrives, and the group begins drifting off to their rooms. Out in the quiet hallway, Ilanka and Kevin